Hello, welcome to SAP HXM Mornings. My name is Sven Ringling. I am SAP HXM Solution Advisor at Orbis People in Germany. And today I want to talk to you about how human experience management goes mobile. So basically, if you're using SAP SuccessFactors as your main HR and talent solution, how do you engage with the deskless workforce or with the mobile workforce? So people who have a desk somewhere in an office, but rarely get there. Or let's call the lazy workforce. So how do you create a convenient user experience, a really great employee experience for people who just like to do some things mobile on the couch when they get home? So obviously, the first solution to look at is the SuccessFactors mobile app. So I would say we definitely are in a happy place already with that mobile app. If you're not using it, the big question is why? Often, if we talk about this, the problem is most of our people don't have a company phone, especially the deskless workforce we talked about here, which across the globe is way above 50% of the workforce. So the solution for that, well, you could still use the SuccessFactors mobile app on people's private phones. So you could have a bring your own device policy. Uh, some organizations shy away from that, but there is a mobile device management available. Look into that. Look in two-factor authentication. And then a lot of companies really solve the perceived security issue around this. Other options, especially with like shop floor workers, are to set up like kiosk terminals. In the past, that could have been quite expensive machines, but today you usually have some kind of tablets, iPads, or something like this. So yeah, you can still have your kiosk system, but use a simple tablet people can log into. But then the other point that where the SuccessFactors mobile app hits limits, obviously, what about the processes that are not run on SuccessFactors? So you might still have like your SAP HCM on-premise solution for time and attendance, where you use Fiori, or you might have travel and expense on ideally Concur, or you have any kind of third-party solutions, or you want to include processes that run on S4HANA. So if we get there, then obviously you can't put everything into the SuccessFactors mobile app. And this is where SAP has introduced last year, I think, the SAP Workzone for HR, which has now been aptly renamed into SuccessFactors Workzone to make really clear which stable it belongs into, right? And SuccessFactors Workzone is the single touch point for all kind of administrative self-service processes, not just processes that run on SuccessFactors, but also you could include your Fiori apps, for instance, for time and attendance, or you could include a collaboration suite like what you remember that used to be SAP Gem, which is still available. But this is kind of absorbed into Workzone now. As I said, on self-services, that could be Fiori you include or any others. And especially a go-to place for learning, also for any kind of micro learning experiences. And the great thing is, it's quite flexible to design processes to make it really, really easy for users. Even if it's a SuccessFactors process, you can still make it an easy guided procedure or a conversational process. And that's all designed on the SAP Business Technology platform. So you need the BTP to use SuccessFactors Workzone for all this. But at the end of the day, you need a BTP anyway. So enough talking about SuccessFactors Workzone. I hope that you now worked up an appetite to see what it actually does. And for this purpose, I've invited an expert. That's always good to have one. And that's Florian Hertlein. Florian is Senior Solution Manager for HXM at SAP in Vienna. And he will now give us a demo of Workzone on mobile. Important to remember, Workzone is not available on mobile only, but everything it can do can be done on mobile. And without further ado, I hand over to Florian.
Hi, Sven. Thanks for having me. It's not a secret that for many companies, it's still difficult to engage their deskless workforce and provide, for example, the latest company updates, company values, access to HR-related processes or learnings. But with SuccessFactors Workzone, we can now offer all employees, including deskless, access to all information they need within a single one-touchpoint solution. So let's jump directly into the topic and put on the shoes of Andreas, who's a deskless worker at Best Run. Andreas just received his payslip in a traditional paper way. But this time, there is a message from HR included. Looks like they have created a new portal. Sounds promising. Let's have a look. Attached to the payslip, HR has provided the logon credentials already, as well as a QR code. So Andreas scans the QR code with his private mobile phone and logs onto the new portal. Of course, two-factor authentication is possible as well. Usually, many deskless workers doesn't own a company email address. But no worries, with Workzone, it's not required to own one. We can use SMS for authentication instead. In the top area, he can see some general company information, as well as the next upcoming company events, like the all hands meeting. If he opens the event, he will receive further details. He can share it, comment on it, like it, and he can set his participation status to I will attend. After confirming his participation, he can go back to the start page and continue discovering the new portal. Ooh, nice. There is a request time off self-service in a paperless digital way. So he doesn't have to write time off requests on paper and bring them to the HR office. He also has access to the internal career market. This widget shows the top 5 jobs of the month, and he would be able to apply immediately on his phone, again, without any paperwork. His employer seems to care about his mental health in times of COVID-19 and published a pulse survey which he can directly access from his start page. Andreas recently filled out a form because he's moving to a new flat. Even that kind of paperwork is now needless. He can just fill in his new address in the Change Your Address self-service. From yesterday, Andreas remembers that the printer, which is mostly used from his department, is running out of ink. Using Create an Incident tile, he can easily create an incident in the ticketing system. In the past, it was always difficult for him to do his compliance trainings on site and to get an overview about his due dates. Now he can access his relevant trainings directly from here. All these features are nice, but what about the most crucial ones? Talking about time and money. Scrolling further down, he can access his timesheets and payslips. In this case, the widget is connected to an on-premise solution. Let's check out how his earnings behave in the last month. Okay, his last payslip is by 2016. He can have a look how his earnings developed over years. Whoa, this looks a bit too close as for a mobile user. Let's switch to the PDF view. What an improvement! His payslip on his private mobile device without issues, without installation. So, in a nutshell, that's what we call employee experience. With SuccessFactors Workzone, you can boost your employees' productivity and keep them engaged as you digitalize HR and establish a bring your own device strategy. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, thank you so much for this demonstration, Florian. I think it really made it clear why we said SuccessFactors Workzone is that single touch point. It really creates an outstanding employee experience. Obviously, it's going to grow over time, but I really loved your demo where start on a piece of paper and then using a QR code, you are like teleported into the digital age. Thanks a lot for this demo, and thanks to all our viewers for switching on. Don't forget to subscribe to the hashtag SAP HXM Mornings on LinkedIn, or subscribe to the Orbis People Digital HR YouTube channel. Goodbye.